Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Comics the Gathering. It's your host Jesse here as always. This week we're coming to you with another deck tech. This is the last of the 2019 Commander Precons. So we're going to be going through my upgrades to it, how I transformed the deck, and how I think is one of the more optimal ways to play it without going, a full C EDH build. So this is the Kadena Slinking Sorcerer morph deck. So this is all about playing morph creatures for value. Kadena has the ability to let you play one morph card, play one face down card per turn for free, by reducing the cost by 3, which is always the cost of a morph. And then when you do, for your first one, you get to draw a card. So Kadena is a value engine, and then you're able to use your morph creatures to save on mana. You can flip them on your opponent's turn for more interaction. So this is all about taking what Kadena can already do and punching it up to the next level. We are going to start off with the creatures. A couple add-ins that I think really help the deck are Weaver of Lies, being able to flip other morphs, Dulcet of Sirens, morphs for only one, and then is able to manipulate your opponent into attacking or not attacking, or attacking other players. Ixidor, Reality Sculptor. He's a lord for morphs, and he lets you cheat on the morph cost. Being able to morph anything up for 3 mana is really, really good, especially when you have a lot of cards in here that have a much higher morph cost, or an alternative morph cost. Some of them that maybe morph up by sacrificing a creature. Well, if there's not a creature you want to sacrifice, now you have a mana option. So, a very important add-in for the deck. Brine Elemental. This does all sorts of shenanigans so long as you have a way to keep flipping it back face down. You can keep preventing your opponents from untapping. And then Apheto Runecaster. Apheto Runecaster is a nice little value engine. Continuing the trend of Kadena lets you play your morphs face down for free. Well, when you turn them face up, Runecaster is going to let you draw cards. So you're increasing your card draw, you're increasing your card filtering. Mischievous Qatar, again, more manipulation. Den Protector is a nice little recursion. Ixidron. This card is insanely powerful, and the nice thing is it comes in the precon. You're going to turn all stuff face down, not just yours. So everything that's now face down is a 2/2 with no abilities, but these aren't considered manifests. So your opponents, when their creatures go face down, they don't have a way to turn them face up. So they just end up sitting there going, my commander is now a 2/2 with no abilities. So they have to make weird plays to get like commanders dead and back to the command zone. And it halts your opponent's plans while also putting a big threat on the board, and it also resets all of your morphs to be flipped back around. Stratus Dancer for some counteraction. Bane of the Living is going to give you a nice board wipe hidden in a morph. Echo Tracer is another little counter. 1,000 Winds. Amazing card. This is the blowout card. Being able to bounce a bunch of stuff back is very important. Being able to catch an opponent off guard and just lift their whole board. Fantastic. Nantuko Vigilante, some artifact and enchantment hate. Thieving Amalgam. Fantastic. Comes with the deck. Vesuvan Shapeshifter, probably one of the most important cards in the whole deck. It's a card that when it morphs up, it clones, and then you can put it back face down. So you get all sorts of interaction and manipulation with it. Skin Thinner, some removal, Slumber Assassin, Temur War Shaman, nice addition in the deck. It lets gives you more manifest capabilities. Death Mist Raptor gets in with all its shenanigans. Antioch Survivalist, more enchantment and artifact. Care Spell Snatcher, being able to steal spells, very nice. Grim Haruspex is draw power when your stuff dies. Kadena's Silencer, making your opponent calm down. Chrome Shell Crab, being able to flip it up and give your opponent a garbage card, take their best thing, very nice. Willbender, the card that everyone is afraid of, lets you redirect targeting, very nice. Seedborn Muse comes in the deck, great card, and it's even more important because now you can play your morphs and then untap on your opponent's upkeep and have the ability to flip your morphs. So it's very essential for the deck. Whisperwood Elemental, I don't know why they didn't include this in the deck. This seems like an auto-include to me. It's just going to keep manifesting, give you all sorts of added value. Ice Feather Aven, Secura Tribe Elder, Theolonite Hermit, more just building your board, one ramp, and then the Hermit being a way to make a bunch of tokens, and with some of the morphs having a sacrificed creature as the way to morph it, that's important. That'll wrap up the creature lineup. Going into the artifacts, we have Soul Ring, Thran Dynamo, Dowsing Dagger, Vidalcan Orrery. This is one of the most important ones. So Kadena's effect is once per turn. Giving yourself access to flash capabilities and being able to play on your opponent's turn means that you can now flash in those morphs for free, and get the additional draw value. So now, instead of drawing you one card on your turn, Kadena is now drawing you one card on each of your opponent's turns as well. Plus you're getting 2/2 bodies with the morph, and you have the mana to morph them up too. Scroll of Fate, maybe the best card printed in the deck. An artifact that says tap, manifest a card from your hand. Seems good, seems like a way to cheat in stuff on your opponent's turn as well. If you don't have Vidalcan Orrery, you have Kadena out, your turn, you play your free morph, pass to your opponent does their thing, and then right before it's coming back around to you, let me tap this, put in this morph, get another trigger off, or put in this manifest, get another trigger off Kadena. Love it. When your morphs flip face up and do things, they are triggered abilities. Strionic Resonator lets you double those up. So I think that's a fantastic inclusion in the deck, and I love that they put that in there. Moving on to enchantments. Morphs are not named morph. When a creature is face down, it has no name. So that being said, Guardian Project is an amazing addition to the deck. It helps you draw every time your morph is coming into play. We talked about how important Seedborn Muse is to the deck. Having a fallback for consistency's sakes in Wilderness Reclamation, not quite as good as Seedborn Muse, but still does give you the added benefit of untapping during your end step. Secret Plans and Trail of Mystery are both auto-includes in the deck. More draw power, one's draw power, one's search power. Fantastic. They just make playing morphs even better. One of my favorite cards in the entire deck, Gift of Doom, is a enchantment aura that you can play face down as a morph. The morph cost is to sacrifice a creature, and when you flip it face up, you attach it to a creature, and the creature you attach it to gets Death Touch and Indestructible I love it. It blows people out of nowhere. I've actually attached this to my Kadena so they couldn't remove it. And then I just had constant draw value off of Kadena, and I was able to out-resource my opponents and win the game. Absolutely love that card. Planeswalkers. There are two, and they're very important. They're both from War of the Spark. Vivian, Champion of the Wilds. You don't really care about her activated abilities. It's her static ability that's fantastic. She has... You may cast creature spells as though they had flash. That's all you need. It's a backup for your Vidalcan Orrery in Planeswalker form. The other one is Ugin the Ineffable. Now, when you tick up Ugin and you basically, you kinda manifest a card. It's not the same. You are getting a 2/2 token, and it's not exactly the same. But when that token dies, you get that card to your hand. So there's lots of cool shenanigans you can do there. More importantly, he makes colorless spells cost 2 less. When you're casting a morph face down, it is considered a colorless spell that you are casting for 3. So it is now 1 mana to play a morph face down. Very good. Also, I mentioned Dowsing Dagger earlier, Soul Ring. Discounting all your good, powerful artifacts is really good. Being able to play Thran Dynamo for 2 mana instead of 4, and then it taps for 3, that's a ramp spell now. So really, really good. I like this. I like that card in here a lot. Being able to slam Dowsing Dagger for free is also really nice. Moving on to the instants. Backslide is a fantastic instant, able to turn your stuff face down. And then if you don't need it when it's in your hand, it also has cycling. Putrefy, all around good removal. Sultai Charm gives you some flexibility, whether you need removal, draw power, etc. Suit the situation and do what you need to do. Reality Shift, probably one of the best removal spells in the format. 2 mana, exile target creature, its controller manifests the top card of their library. Seems good. And then finally, of course, we are in blue, and gotta play a Cyclonic Rift in here, because you can just, like, there comes a point in the game where you just kind of hit critical mass of morphs, and you just blow out your opponent and push in, because you have a ton of morphs that have counter abilities and stuff, so you're usually able to hold off the board wipes long enough that you can just push in and get game on everyone. Moving on to the sorceries, we have Farseek for fixing, Explore, lets you play additional land, draws your card, just kind of helping you ramp in the early game. Cultivate, again, helping you get your ramp on. Tempt with Discovery as well. Urban Evolution, more just kind of ramp and draw power. Road of Return, this is an interesting card. It lets you either get something back or get your commander or entwine. So I'm not fully certain how I feel about this card, but I do like it a lot, and it has the flexibility and the also capable of being entwined that I think it's worth the include for now, until maybe we get another wave of morphs and this deck list has to get altered. Hex comes included in the deck. I like this more than a traditional board wipe in this particular deck. You want to be able to eliminate your opponent's key creatures so your morphs can get in, but you don't want to Wrath and reset and get rid of all your morphs. So being able to just surgically extract the ones that you don't want on the board makes Hex, I think, a fantastic inclusion. The final one that is in this deck is a bonkers card, absolutely amazing, and that is Ghastly Conscription. It lets you exile all creatures from target player's graveyard, so it could be an opponent, it could be your own, and manifest them all face down. So obviously you do this to yourself, you recur your whole graveyard, You get all your morphs reset to the board, especially after a Wrath. This is great because if your opponent Wraths the board, you're like, oh no, what am I going to do? Ghastly Conscription, you completely rebuild everything. Love it, fantastic card. There's one thing that isn't in the deck list that you can do with this deck that I really like. There are several sneaky ways to get things from your hand into play as a morph that are not morphs. So, that being said, one of the things you can do is you can play Phage the Untouchable in here, because Phage doesn't trigger when you cheat her into play face down. She's not aware of that, so you don't automatically lose the game. But when you swing at someone and they don't block this particular manifest, that's just a 2/2, surprise, it's Phage the Untouchable that you flip up with the her mana cost and morph her up. Boom. Instantly put a player out of the game. As for the cut that I would make for this, I'm not fully certain. You can go ahead and experiment around, do what you'd like to do. That being said, the mana base is pretty much a straightforward Sultai mana base. There's one key card that you do have to play though, and thankfully it's just gotten several reprintings, so the price is down, and that is Alchemist Refuge. Alchemist Refuge lets you, for one turn, have access to Flash. So it's very important for if you don't have your Vidal-Hukanor, or you don't have your Leyline of Anticipation, and you don't have your Vivian. If you're missing one of those, then boom. You have a fourth one in land form to help you out, maybe be able to flash some things in and get some more of that. Anyways, that's the deck tech. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of the deck. What changes would you make? Do you like, the current build of the deck? And we'll discuss that in the comments. Starting next week, we're going into the Commander 2020 precons. I'll be deconstructing those and rebuilding them for you guys. So can't wait to break into those and see how they're working. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.